Alright, it's a beautiful day today, boys. I'm in a good mood, so hopefully this will be a good video. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about the topic of like having good friends in your life and having a sense like brotherhood, a sense of like a community around you. Community, I feel like, has been a really big theme in my life at the moment. And you know, I guess the best example of that is like my mates and my friends and the people I have around me. And I think like often in like the self-improvement space and stuff that gets neglected, it's sort of like, oh, you know, if your friends aren't helping you get rich or make money, or you know, if you're not like in the gym spotting each other on bench press, then you know it's not important. And like your friends aren't like they don't need to be a big like part of your life, or you know, maybe not so much that, but there isn't a whole lot of emphasis in this space of like advice for young men on how not just important but how awesome it is to have like a really amazing group of like other young guys around you. You know, you hear all those quotes like, you know, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time around. You hear all of that, but you know, there's this advice around like, you know, what kind of people to not be friends with and the sorts of people you need to surround yourself with and all that. And yep, all that's 100% true, and it's really important to keep in mind. But I think such a huge aspect of, you know, winning at life and just feeling like happy and fulfilled and successful and just having a really successful life is having that community of people around you, your friends. You know, for example, I was thinking about it just while I was writing a couple of notes, like things I wanted to talk about in this video. So many of the ideas for videos that I've made, the idea or the concept of the video was sparked in a conversation I had with a friend about life, about, you know, self-improvement, about, or you know, not necessarily a conversation, but say like an experience or a trip with the boys, and I got an idea. Like, it's like being around the boys is just gonna give you so much like creative material to work with and build off. It's going to give you so many ideas, so many like different experiences and perspectives and stuff that's, you know, going to end up leading to you being able to create some really cool stuff. I also think being around other young men who are like ambitious, who are, you know, like fun guys to hang out with, but also like have a direction in their lives that they're going in. That's actually where you get so much of that like hunger and ambition and competitiveness from, and God, you need that in your life, I reckon. Like in seasons where I'm not hanging out with the boys so much, I'm just like so in my own world and in my own head. I'm nowhere near as ambitious, I'm nowhere near as inspired. I think smaller. I don't have these big wild ideas, these dreams, these ambitions and stuff. And it's like the second I step into that space where I'm going on trips with the boys, I'm training with them a lot more, we're like hanging out at school a lot more, and we're talking and stuff, dude, I get competitive, I get fired up, I get excited for life. I think if you can stay excited about life, I think that might be the greatest advantage you can have, right? You have that hunger to do better and to achieve things, like, and I think that really comes from being around the boys, like just being around your friends. And it's also an accountability thing, right? It's like, I've had some conversations with the boys recently where it's actually gone like both ways. So around this idea of discipline, I'll just use that for example. I feel like I've been in a weird spot with discipline at the moment where like technically my output in terms of my work, the things I'm actually creating and achieving and doing is actually the best it's ever been. Like my ability to like actually just do my schoolwork, to just study, right? I've never been this good at doing that before. You know, I've been working harder than I ever have in my life because I just got a new job, and so on top of school I'm working like, you know, 18, you know, let's just say between 15 and 20 hours a week extra on top of school. I guess the point I'm trying to make here is in all these different like areas of my life, I've been so much more, like my input / output has been like really good. But I feel like, dude, I haven't been able to like consistently meditate every morning for ages, man. Like my gym consistency and discipline has just not been there. Like I feel like I've like fallen off a little bit in terms of like how disciplined I am, how much I can stick to a structured routine. Bro, I've been like going to bed at like random ass times, like midnight or like 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. and then randomly I'll have a good night where I go to bed at like 9 or 9:30, and then I'll just the next night stay up really late. And it's like, there's factors, long distance relationship, all this different stuff, but I can use every excuse in the book. But the point is, I haven't been holding myself to that sort of routine discipline. And I brought that up with my friends. I said, man, I just feel like, I was talking to one friend in the gym, and I was basically everything I just said then, I said to him. I was like, man, I've just been like falling off. I felt really undisciplined and out of routine. And he really, really held me accountable. And he was like, bro, yeah, I've noticed that. You haven't been in the gym as much. When you've been in here, you've been doing like, just whatever workout, or like, you've been just training chest and shoulders and biceps a lot because you love training those. But like, I haven't seen you hit legs in a while. I haven't seen you training back very hard at the moment and all that. And made me think. I was like, yeah, no, dude, he's dead right. I've just been doing what I felt like when it came to the gym. He didn't have a crack at me. He didn't double down and go, yeah, bro, you're doing so shit. He said, yeah, dude, like, come on, like, let's lift that. Let's get back on a better track with that. And I really needed that conversation. And he sort of said, like, yeah, man, like, if it's important to you, yeah, focus on that. So he really held me accountable. And that's one example of, like, that's one way it goes when I'm around, like, my friends. The other way it goes, I'll use this example, it's like, sits a little bit outside like discipline, but it's got to do with more like YouTube and stuff. I was saying to them, boys, I feel like the channel's not doing super well at the moment. I haven't been making the quality and the level of videos, and I don't know, I just feel like maybe like this thing that I put so much of my heart and so much of my passion and energy and focus and hard work into is just like not working. And my mate looked at me and he went, are you fucking serious? You got like 5,500 subscribers and one of your videos has like fucking 80k views. Like, what are you talking about? And I needed that, right? Because to me, that's like, I've been at around 5.5k subscribers for like 3 months or 4 months maybe. And it feels normal now, so it doesn't feel like I'm making any progress. But it took my mate, who's like a little outside of my life and my little bubble, to be like, no, dude, you're actually fucking killing it, and I'm proud of you, bro, and you've done well with this, and we're all rooting for you, and we all believe in you, and we all know that you've got something to bring. Like, fuck, holy shit, like, that is so valuable. Like, I needed that. And I'm here recording a video which I know will probably not get that many views, like, but this is all I have the capacity for at the moment. I don't have a capacity to sit and write a really detailed script and then go out and film this really cinematic thing and then spend like, fucking 20 hours editing it and making all the text and all this cool stuff and like have it this really beautiful, like with music and, in my life at the moment and within my own just bandwidth and headspace, I don't have the capacity to be doing that right now. But even so, I'm sitting here recording a video and having a great time because I'm in a really good headspace for it today. So that's kind of what I'm saying. This probably isn't going to get many views, but I'm having a great time recording this video, and I'm genuinely trying to pull something sort of out of my experiences in life, out of my heart, and then out of my mind to articulate something that I can get across that will hopefully help you, right? And that's something that I'm really passionate about doing. I've proven in the past that I can be really good at it. Whether I'm doing a good job of it today or not, or most of the time, I don't know. But that's not really for me to judge. But I'm just happy that I'm doing this and that I'm committing to this process. And I'm letting go of the external outcomes. And I'm like, I don't really care if things do great, because I know I'm building something cool. But without spending that time around the boys, without hearing that feedback, hearing that encouragement, bro, I'd probably be overthinking, getting stuck in, oh, well, if the videos aren't getting views anymore, does that mean that people are, like, no longer finding, like, what I'm saying valuable, or maybe, my channel's just, like, dying and stuff? No, when you have people around you to be like, actually, bro, nah, you're doing good, and, this is just how it goes, there's ups and downs and plateaus, and, like, give me a perspective that's outside of my own head, and something, like, an opinion that isn't gonna end up being the victim of my own emotions, my own thoughts, my own sort of like things that I'm struggling with, like doubt. And the other part of it is like the aspect of just living your life and having people around you to go do fun, like cool shit with, and like go on like adventures together and experience things. And you know, like I've been so lucky recently where I've got to go like camping with my friends and 4-wheel driving and exploring, and like just we've been carving out a lot more time in our schedules just to hang out and fuck around and just have a good time and enjoy being like 17, you know. And to me that very much does not mean going to parties and getting drunk and fuck all that, bro. I don't, that's not me, right? And I'm lucky enough that I've been able to, like with my friends, cultivate a culture where that's not us. We don't do that shit. Like, and you know, that's up to personal preferences and choices and values and opinions on things, but you know, just go have a good time, ride dirt bikes, just, you know, I'm shit at riding dirt bikes. You know, I go to the beach and like surfing / bodyboarding with the boys, and it's like I'm shit at that. Like I'm so bad, and that's so fun to go and do things I'm shit at and go try new experiences and have people to challenge me to do that and be like, no, bro, you're getting on this bike and you're gonna ride that shit. Or like, nah, dude, like come on out the back where the bigger waves are, because like we'll go get fucked up and it's gonna be fun, right? Whereas maybe if I was by myself, I'd be a little like, there's nothing stopping me from staying comfortable, right? Whereas when I'm around people who's like, all right, cool, 4-wheel driving trip. Oh, you've never been 4-wheel driving before? All right, sick, cool. And I'm like, oh, am I gonna enjoy this? Am I not? I don't know. But then I'm with the boys and it's like you just all go do it together and it's like sick as. And you end up with all these awesome memories and experiences. So I just think, man, like, if I could leave you with one thing from this video, prioritize spending that time around your friends. And, you know, if you're at a point like, bro, a couple years ago, man, I didn't have friends. I didn't have people who I could do this stuff with. I didn't have a circle like this. It's just something, you know, you'll find people and you'll find them in unexpected places, and it'll be people you don't expect sometimes that end up becoming like part of that brotherhood, man. Don't be afraid to like reach out or to maybe let someone into that circle who you would have felt a bit like weird about hanging out with or something, bro. Like there'll be like little opportunities. Look for them, bro, because there'll be these little opportunities to meet people, to build connections, to like strengthen bonds, and it'll always come through saying yes to opportunities, putting yourself out there, being willing to be uncomfortable, and just time, man, and being solid in who you are. Like if you can be solid in who you are and you can throw yourself at opportunities, bro, you're gonna meet people. And understand that, you know, if you've watched this far in the video and you're resonating with this, you've got potential to be a leader in that space and to really cultivate like the vibe and the culture that you want in that group. Yeah, man, spending time around the boys, spending time with your friends is incredibly important for your growth, for your sort of future success, but also just for your enjoyment of your life, and for you to be present and make the most of these years while you're young. So that's the message I wanted to leave with you today. If you resonate with this, subscribe. I got a community for young men who are on this path, pursuing goals and sort of trying to live life to the fullest and just win at life in their teenage years. And so if that sounds like something you want to join, there's a link in the description to that. Take care, bro. Have a good one.